That's not ideal. It's amazing, this automatic choke. Good morning, welcome to another video. And as you have already seen, something interesting happened with this car yesterday actually. Still idling ferociously, eh? Before I talk about that, I also had to take this car to the MOT, just like the Alpha, 2 weeks ago, but I didn't record the video until now. I was in a bit of a hurry, and yeah, I did a bit more preparation than I did to the 33. I mean, as you might have seen in the other video, I tried to clean the leaks, not because I wanted to hide them, but because I wanted to solve them for good after the MOT, without having to be stressed because I will have to take the car in a month. Obviously, from my house to the MOT facility, it's around 15 kilometers, and when I arrived there, I already had a leak at the back near the wheel. As I was saying, I tried to clean the oil leaks before going to MOT. Obviously, I checked if all the lights were working, if I had my yellow vest, the normal stuff, you know. Look, a new business system Porsche. But yeah, I know this is an old car. Even after I bought it, it hasn't been that much on the road. And, you know, things perish. Rubber, mainly. So yeah, I was a bit worried because all those hoses and silent blocks and all things that involve rubber or plastic, they could lead to a fail. The guy who tested this car was actually really nice. But the really interesting thing happened when we were doing emissions. First, I was really surprised because this car was showing something around 0.3% of CO, when it should be 1.5, so really low. I even asked, is this okay for a carbureted engine? And the guy told me, well, it's usually around 1.5, but as long as the car is not lumpy and as long as it doesn't feel sluggish, it should be fine. Obviously, I have a hole in my back box and there might be some other small exhaust leak, and that could change the results. But even then, it's a really low value, and HC was also okay. So it seems the engine is still in good health. The bonnet was open, and a colleague from that guy was passing by, and he went to take a look, and he commented, "Oh, is this still the suitcase engine?" He was like, "Oh yeah, you don't see many of these anymore." And then he passed me and he said, "Nice car." Yeah, I was really happy because most people look at this and think it's just an old car. Of course, I know why this is an interesting car and why it is a different car and why it's relatively valuable. Not in terms of money, we didn't get there yet here in Portugal. If it was a GTI or this is Supap, then it would be worth some money. This one being a 1.4, no. But I know what the car represents and why it's an interesting car. But most people, when I'm driving by, don't. They just look at this as an old car. And they look at me as some weird guy. I imagine this happens to a lot of people that drive classic cars, because not all classic cars are minis or 2CVs. But yeah, that happens nonetheless. And sometimes it takes a meeting or a coffee, some event, or just going to a place where people work with cars. Not all people that work with cars like classic cars, but sometimes you need to go to these places to remember that other people also like them and find them valuable. We then started talking. He bought a Range Rover. It was a 2.5 diesel, I think. We were talking about doing maintenance at home, all that stuff. The car was doing very well during the test. No problems with braking, with steering. Everything was going fine. There are actually no advisories in this. But we were so lost in conversation, or he got so distracted, he had to go around the building to take the picture to prove that the car was there. I'm not sure you usually do that in other places, but here in Portugal that's how it works. So yeah, he told me that the car was in relatively good shape, and off I went, all happy. This is a dead end. Cool. That's where I miss power steering, but we shall manage. We did. Meanwhile, this car has been parked for 2 weeks, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna give it a full tank E10 petrol, which I thought would, in a way, substitute lead. I've actually learned that there is a thing you can mix with the fuel for older cars like this, but I just filled it with E10, and I hoped it would make a difference. I don't fill this car up many times, and I'm not sure it did this before, but I finished filling it up and I was about to pay when I looked back and I see fuel pouring down under the car, and the guy looked at me and said, it seems to have filled it up a little too much. And I told him, I don't think so, it's probably the hose that leads to the tank. It's probably cracked. It's not leaking anymore, but I'm not sure if once in a while it drops a little amount as the car bounces on the road, or it might just be evaporating. It's in the same area I thought I had an LHM leak, so now I'm not sure it was actually LHM. It could just have been petrol all this time. If it wasn't, well, it's in the same area, so it's easier to fix. I can do both at the same time. Anyway, I'm happy that this car is an MOT for another year, and I'm happy that it passed and that I don't have to solve anything for next year. I just have to keep it going properly. I have to adjust the clutch cable because it seems to buzz a little bit and the pedal seems to be too loose. I'm not sure it has to do with that, but I hope it does. In a couple months it will need another oil change. I should take a look at the brakes. Once in a while I have a light blinking here. In terms of suspension, it seems to have been sorted when I changed the spheres last year. Tires are still good. As Havnat would say, all the good times. Anyway, I'm arriving to work. I've actually made a small detour in order to be able to finish the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And next time, I might find you at the garage. Bye!